Iran. The name alone sends mixed emotions and a somewhat unnerving perspective towards this old world. Once known as the mighty Persia, with the imperial dynasty's strong Persian Empire dating back to the time of Cyrus the Great, it was one of the first civilizations. Persia, now known as the Islamic Republic of Iran, gives me a kind of nostalgia. Since the last time I was here 15 years ago, as a young troublemaker, coming back felt like a renewed sense of wonder and curiosity to rediscover the other half of my roots. First stop, the capital, Tehran. A melting pot of the young cosmopolitan Iranians and the center for business. From the bazaars, they sell everything they can get their hands on, like old records, musical instruments, antiques, handmade carpets, and a whole lot more of goods that is uniquely Persian. I met a new friend, Mr. Mike, and he's from Ireland, but now based in London. So, Sir Mike, tell me, how do you find Iran so far?
Absolutely fascinating. You know, we're really delighted that we took the trouble to come. Not easy to get a visa, it's quite a tricky business, but well worth the effort.
So how many places have you visited, and how did coming to Iran change your perception of the Iranian people and the nice tourist spots to visit here?
Well, we've travelled quite extensively over Western Iran, and we went by train and by minibus, so we haven't flown from anywhere because we wanted to actually see the landscape, see the country, and that's beautiful as well. Very interesting to see the mountains and all the desert plains and so on. We went to Yazd and then to Shiraz, Esfahan, Ahvaz, to Chokha Zambil, Haftape.
Wow.
These are wonderful places. And one thing I would say as well is it is such a safe country to travel in, and the people are incredibly friendly. You know, when I left Ireland, I don't like tea.
Yeah.
But since I've been here, I have drunk so many cups of tea, and I'm sitting drinking with someone on the pavement, and someone else comes and taps me on the shoulder and says, "Now you have to come and drink tea with me," and we go from one tea drinking to another tea drinking.
Don't forget the galleon. They like to smoke that water pipe.
I haven't touched that. I don't like smoking, but yeah, lots of smoking as well.
What is the most charming part about coming to Iran based on your newfound appreciation of the Iranian people and the culture?
Well, culturally, it is so fascinating. You know, this country has got a history going back so many thousands of years, and it's incredibly well preserved. But I suppose the real highlight of this is the people. The Iranian people are just so friendly and welcoming, and they really make you feel as if you're special. In Iran, my main objective is to eat as much delicious food as I possibly can. And I'm gonna experience all the hidden gems. Those are the restaurants that are hole in the wall. And this is how we do it, Tehran style. We are in this famous kebab place where this is fast paced. You just order, they cook it for you, and they make fresh bread. It's called tochal, and it's in the same street with the same name. So this is how you eat kebab in Iran. They serve you fresh bread, and then they use lamb for the tenderloin part, and we got the grilled chicken and beef kebab. This place is actually affordable, more than the other kebab restaurants here, but it's fast and quick. This is a yogurt with spinach. It neutralizes the gaminess of the lamb. And of course, we have some olives. It has walnut. It has a sweet and bitter taste to it. This is their appetizer before the main course. Alright, this is how we do kebab. Keep twisting it fast. Wow, this is a hard job. It's so hot.
The other one.
If you can't stand the heat, get out of the kitchen. Coming from the infamous revolution in 1979, which sought to overthrow the last Persian monarch, Many left Iran and migrated to continue their studies abroad. My father, at 18 years old, traveled to the Philippines and fell in love with a Filipina Hispanic woman, and since then, the Philippines had become his home. I am standing in the Freedom Monument, better known as Azadi, here in Tehran. It was built by the late Shah in 1971, designed by an Iranian architect and built by a British construction team. This was influenced by 14th century architecture, and this is the most symbolic landmark you can find here in Tehran.
I want to see, I want to know something about this country, because I have only cliché, and I want to go to see to see with my own eyes.
Yes.
I don't want to stay in cliché.
In the internet said no, Iran, no.
It's not
Going
safe.
for tourism.
Yeah, it's not safe.
No,
But actually, coming from
actually,
France,
yeah.
there you have it. Don't live in fear, live your life, and you will find out for yourself what the place is all about. Iran has been portrayed in the media with scrutiny and profiled as a not so safe destination. Well, if you ask me, it's like any country in the world. There is always the good side and the not so good side. What many people don't see is the real life day-to-day things, like how warm-hearted and hospitable the Iranians are. Don't be fooled by their intensity in a conversation. They may sound mad, but they are actually just really passionate people.
این کار حرفه آبا اجدادی ما هستش. 100 سال تو خانواده ما شیشه‌گری هست. پدر بزرگم، پدرم و من 50 سال، یعنی نیم قرن دارم این کار انجام میدم از 6 سالگی. این کار من علاقه بهش دارم چون هنر اجداد منه و از این راه من خودم اینو درس میدم، دانشگاه درس میدم، استاد دانشگاه هستم. 3 تا دانشگاه اینو من تدریس میکنم. صدها دانشجو اندازه تو من دارم، دختر پسر، که اینو آموزش دارم. به همه میگم، به دانشجو میگه فرزند هنر باش، فرزند هنر باش، نه فرزند پدر. فرزند هنر زنده کند نام پدر.
The art and culture plays a big role in Iran. From the great poets like Omar Khayyam and Rumi, the country has been going through a lot of struggles with sanctions from the US, wherein they cannot bring any items that come from abroad. So this forces the Iranians to be innovative and resourceful.
This event is for showing the other peoples that Iranian peoples, there are no challenge with other countries, and we are very, very peaceful. This is our solar car. It's made in Qazvin Islamic Azad University. The most significant purpose of this vehicle is the green. They are green. They are without any fuel. They work, and they doesn't have any pollution.
So we're in this competition of the RoboCup, and the RoboCup has several leagues. And in this league, it's all about software you develop. We are mainly focusing on software, where other competitions have to focus on hardware and software. We can get bigger advances in just one field by just focusing on one field.
Could you tell me more about artificial intelligence and the impact it has on the future generations?
AI is mainly used for either jobs that you really don't want to do because it's dangerous or because it's dirty or boring. AI plays a really great role because robots don't get distracted. It's not really bad when a robot is damaged because it's only money and not human life. And they also don't really mind to get dirty. So all those dirty and nasty jobs, they can maybe in the future be taken over by robots or other computing devices.
So this is your passion.
It's really my
It's your
passion.
calling.
Yeah.
So there you heard it first. Patrick has opened my eyes that in the future, it will give us an easier time so we can spend more quality time with each other.
Yeah.
Thanks, Patrick. Have a good
Thank
day.
you.
If you're looking for some excellent dessert, Baba Rahim is the place for you here in Tehran. And they serve this traditional sheer bastani moz. It's like a blend of banana, milk, pistachio nuts, coconut, and even pineapple. So this is really something you look for after a heavy meal. This is the way to have an enjoyable afternoon in Tehran. Wow. You can really taste the richness of the coconut blended with the milk, the banana, and vanilla ice cream. I think I'm gonna gain so much weight here that I gotta jog it off when we head up the mountain tomorrow. I'm here in Tochal, riding the cable car, going up to the ski resort. And this cable car was built 35 years ago by the Shah because they were hosting the Asian Skiing Championship. That's why now it's being used by tourists and people who just want to unwind. Even during springtime, you just get up here and you can go skiing and enjoy the snow. From the hustle and bustle of the city of Tehran and just driving up the mountains to enjoy snow and skiing. Being born in the Philippines and raised by an Iranian father, the culture I knew growing up in Manila was worlds apart from the adventure I was about to get into in Iran. I'm on the way up north and we're gonna visit Shomal, and it's about 4.5 hours from Tehran, Iran. On our way up to Shomal, we need to eat, and that's my favorite subject. So we stop, of course, where else? In another kebabi place. It has fats placed in between it, so you know that this stuff is potently good. We got the heart, the liver, and the lungs. That's how we do it. Iran is a majestic place and somewhat an eccentric travel destination. It's safe and the crime rate is practically non-existent as the security is kept at a high standard.
Man, you need some rhythm.
I'm having ab al-balu, which is actually fresh cherry juice, and they place a special kind of herb on top. It has a distinct flavor to it, so this is a good way to kickstart the afternoon. I am standing in the land of all nations, here in Persepolis. So if you're looking for street food, you came to the right place. This is a snack. The tomb has 6 levels that symbolizes the 6 civilizations that he conquered. Here in Meiduna Shah, this was once the center for trade, religion, and power. Her artwork just caught my eye and I happened to just pass by and walked in. It used to have natural drinking water flowing through its arches. One of the best parts of the trip when you travel abroad is eating delicious delicacies. Behind me is a food factory. They love this stuff. They call this a snack that's huge. Look at that sandwich. The meat, they used to chop it up with a knife because they didn't have a grinding machine. We're entering a calipache place. It's a lamb head, a leg, anything you want. Calipache, high in cholesterol, but 100% goodness.